Hey, T.O., I'm going to bust up your eyes, I'm going to whip your ass, and I'm going to beat the shit out of you. You better be ready, boy. All that more pressure stuff don't mean nothing. As long as I'm, like, locked in and I'm focused on what I'm supposed to be doing, nothing else matters around me. That 4-weight world champion, it means everything to me. That's me separating myself. A lot of these guys that they claim is the guys nowadays, none of them can say that they are a 4-weight world champion. He got a lot of weaknesses, though. He's a very good fighter, but I do see a lot of weaknesses. He's not going to correct them overnight. It's going to be the same T.O. that we done seen 1,000 times before. He's going to come out there trying to perform highly, and I'm going to take advantage of it. But as far as the weaknesses, I'm going to keep them to myself.
Before this fight go down in a couple of weeks, Shakur Stevenson already gave us a damn classic banger. Yep, he gave us a classic banger. I don't give a damn what anybody say. That last fight, yeah, that last fight actually it was harder than this fight that he gonna be having with Teofimo Lopez. Oh, let me say it one more time. Yeah, Zepeda is a tougher fight than Teofimo Lopez. Yep, you heard it right here. You heard, and you gonna see. You gonna see on the 31st.
The clock is ticking, and Shakur Stevenson just delivered a crystal clear message about his intentions against Teofimo Lopez. This isn't about survival anymore. Stevenson is planning to methodically expose and exploit every single flaw he's identified in Lopez's game. Training camp intensity is through the roof right now, and everything coming out of Team Stevenson screams one thing: complete destruction. While Teofimo keeps throwing around words like slow and overrated, the energy radiating from Stevenson's preparation tells a completely different tale. Shakur is dialed in like never before, ready to demonstrate exactly why he stands alone at the top.
One of the best things we have going for us when a person underestimates you, that's lovely. And that ain't the only thing he's underestimating. So we're good.
The greatest thing we got working for us is this mother thinks we slow.
Yeah, he think he's slow. Like, really, bro?
Well, that's advantage for us.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. I'm just like, I'm really gapped that he thinks that way.
Here's what separates Shakur Stevenson from everyone else in this division. 4 world titles across different weight classes. That's a resume nobody else can match, period. When fighters start claiming they belong on his level, Stevenson's response is ice cold and terrifying. You don't. Lopez has given him plenty to work with in terms of technical flaws, gaps that need addressing but somehow keep getting ignored. Stevenson has identified these problems and plans to turn each one into a nightmare come fight night. The specifics remain locked away for now. But the promise is simple: total exposure when the bell rings.
Nothing else matters around me. That 4-weight world champion, it means everything to me. That's me separating myself. A lot of these guys that they claim is the guys nowadays, none of them can say that they are a 4-weight world champion. He got a lot of weaknesses, though. He's a very good fighter, but I do see a lot of weaknesses. He's not going to correct them overnight. It's going to be the same T.O. that we done seen 1,000 times before. He's going to come out there trying to perform highly, and I'm going to take advantage of it. But as far as the weaknesses, I'm going to keep them to myself.
Tim Bradley just demolished the narrative that Shakur Stevenson plans to run and hide against Teofimo Lopez. Bradley reminds everyone that Stevenson has consistently delivered action-packed performances throughout his career, with plenty of evidence to back it up. He even makes the case that Ryan Garcia represented a tougher challenge than Lopez, calling all the running talk manufactured nonsense designed to create false drama. Bradley doesn't stop there either, predicting that Stevenson possesses every tool necessary to not just defeat Lopez, but to completely school him when January rolls around.
I just want to remind y'all that where everybody's saying, oh, Shakur, he gonna run against Zapata with all that pressure and volume that Zapata brings to the ring. And everybody's saying, Shakur gonna run against Teofimo Lopez once he feel that power, this and that. Okay, just remember this. Shakur gonna do what Shakur gotta do to win the fight. That's it. Plain and simple. Shakur is going to be and do whatever he needs to do to win the fight. Exciting, boring, whatever the hell you want to say, it don't matter. He already gave you a damn banger. Yeah, he gave you a banger, a classic in his last fight. Yeah, so he got to be smart, he got to be in tune, he got to be sharp, and he going to beat and outbox and have...
The bad blood between Teofimo Lopez Sr. and Shakur Stevenson has reached a boiling point, leading to some seriously harsh predictions about what's coming. Tim Bradley sees this playing out in a particularly brutal way for the Lopez camp. He envisions Lopez Sr. screaming instructions from the corner while watching his game plan fall apart in real time. According to Bradley's vision, all those shouted commands will end in devastating disappointment because Stevenson is going to systematically break down everything Lopez Jr. brings to the table.
Teofimo Lopez Sr. in the corner saying all kind of ninjas. Get that ninja. Get that mother effing ninja. He gonna have him saying all kind of stuff inside the damn corner. Yeah,
Team Stevenson's energy has hit another level entirely as this massive showdown approaches. Head trainer Wally Moses just revealed the core strategy for handling Teofimo Lopez, and it couldn't be more direct: complete breakdown and destruction. Moses has been drilling this mentality into his fighter every single day, making sure every piece of tactical advice gets absorbed and executed. His confidence in delivering a sharper, more evolved version of Shakur Stevenson is absolute, with a game plan as ruthless as it sounds on paper.
This is the fight that I've been kind of waiting for my entire life. I didn't have to make this fight. This is a fight I could have just stayed at 135 pounds. I made this fight happen because I know Teo is one of the guys at 140, but he got a big resume, big accomplishments. And I know there's going to be some doubt with people and fans when I go fight this guy. It's going to be people that really believe that this guy's going to beat me. I'm not on the level that I think I am and I say I am, so I made this fight for that reason. That was my competitive edge kind of kicked in when I wanted to make this fight.
Mainly work on your pace, you know what I'm saying? When you need a fast pace, I don't think you can keep up with us with it.
All the building tension around this matchup is leading toward what Shakur Stevenson considers his defining career moment. This represents the star-making opportunity that boxing insiders always knew was inevitable, a collision with Teofimo Lopez that could change everything. For Stevenson, victory here goes beyond championship belts or silencing doubters. This is about claiming a moment that feels destined, seizing an opportunity that represents years of preparation and sacrifice. The confidence radiating from his entire team suggests zero intention of letting this slip through their fingers.
AO knows it's going to be a real fight. Shakur knows it's going to be a real fight. And I look at Shakur like a fighter who has a blank canvas. He's got the IQ, he got the experience, and the athleticism and the skill set where he can paint any type of picture he wants to on a blank canvas. When I look at Teofimo Lopez, he's almost that. He has a blank canvas, but he needs an outline on what to draw and what to paint inside the line. Now, every now and again, he'll go away from the outline that he has and he'll do something dope and you'll be like, "Ooh, that was cool. That wasn't on the outline right there." But I don't think that he can create on the fly like a Shakur Stevenson.
Veteran boxing minds see Teofimo Lopez as anything but an easy assignment for Stevenson. Antonio Tarver, analyzing the sport from his current perspective, believes Lopez becomes most dangerous when he stops overthinking and embraces his natural instincts. Tarver's assessment suggests Lopez's best path to victory involves being completely authentic to his fighting style, lightning quick, absolutely fearless, wildly unpredictable, and willing to attempt things that would terrify more conservative fighters.
I think that's the only chance he got, is to really be his ultra self, you know, doing all the things that makes him Teofimo Lopez. The footwork could be a major advantage for him. You know, being able to get inside. You know, a lot of times he fights free. You know, he don't really have a style. He does what it takes. And he's a gutsy fighter. You know what I mean? Real gutsy. He's not going to be leery to take chances. He's a gambler in there. You know what I'm saying? So he's a live underdog, I would say.
Tarver specifically points to Lopez's movement as a potential game changer, highlighting how it might allow him to dictate range and impose his preferred fighting conditions. Lopez doesn't fight like a textbook technician at all. He improvises constantly, making real-time adjustments and doing whatever becomes necessary for survival and success. That spontaneous approach, in Tarver's opinion, creates genuine danger because Lopez never hesitates when windows of opportunity suddenly open.
A live underdog, but if he's to win this fight, I think he has to probably stop Shakur Stevenson. He's going to have to hit him with something, and let's hope Shakur's hands hold up. I still believe if he's in a fisticuff, you know, and he has to slug it out, you know, those brutal hands going to have to hold up if he want to put a dent in Teofimo Lopez.
Paulie Malignaggi brings another crucial perspective to this discussion, viewing the matchup as potentially the most challenging test either fighter has encountered. While his overall lean favors Stevenson, Malignaggi issues a serious warning about underestimating Lopez, particularly when circumstances turn against him. Malignaggi explains how Lopez historically performs his best when facing adversity and low expectations. Doubt and dismissal seem to unlock Lopez's most devastating performances.
Because you wanna, there's a replay there. You wanna give Shakur the edge, and I do, but Teo is not something to play with, because when he's got his back to the wall, he becomes the most difficult guy to deal with, you know? And he's got his best performances when people count him out. And then when people feel like he's gonna win easily, he's got his worst performances. So this is one of those times where Teo could make it really, really interesting. Shakur, for me, is a possible pound-for-pound #1 at one time. But if there's a guy who could be a threat to him, it is Teo, because Teo has that little bit of difference-making ability.
Is it a 60-40 fight? Is it still close?
I mean, it's probably 60-40, maybe even higher, but that's a live 30 and 40 by Teofimo, because, again, the way he shows up is very, very difficult and tricky.
Still, Malignaggi gives Stevenson the edge based on consistency and mental discipline. He credits Shakur's technical mastery and composed demeanor with providing better tools for managing chaotic moments than most fighters possess. However, he stresses that Lopez definitely has the weapons to disrupt Stevenson's preferred rhythm, making this contest much tighter than casual observers might anticipate.
At first look, at first glance, I mean, this is Shakur Stevenson written all over, right? This is Shakur's coming out party. This is where Shakur lives up to the expectation. But there is a tricky element to this fight as well, because Teofimo Lopez always saves his best performances for the moment when you write him off, for the moment when you're ready to say, okay, he's gone too far, now he's going to lose. And his two career wins where he's been an underdog, I think most people were picking him to lose the Taylor fight. But more so than that, the Lomachenko fight, really most people were looking for him to lose that Lomachenko fight. And I think he's probably the only guy to have beaten Lomachenko legitimately, you know? So you know, Teofimo has a way of being at his most dangerous when he's got his back to the wall and people are counting him out.
Looking beyond this single bout, Malignaggi sees potential sport-changing implications in the outcome. Both fighters already carry pound-for-pound recognition, whether inside or just outside the top 10 rankings. The winner here could make a massive leap toward boxing's absolute pinnacle, with Stevenson particularly showing the characteristics of a future pound-for-pound king. Stevenson is currently in his prime years.
Prime, and he's very, very good, and I think he's possibly, you know, the level of a fighter that could probably be the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the sport if he would just have the right opponents in front of him to beat, because he would beat them. But this is the one guy where it's really, really tricky. It's the one guy that could really offset that is Teofimo, on the right night, of course. Shakur, I think, is a more consistent, better fighter. But Teofimo at his best sometimes looks almost unbeatable, you know? So that's the only thing that gives you some tricky feelings about it. You feel like Shakur is ready to do this, and this is the moment, but Teofimo tends to be that guy who's the most dangerous in these moments, so it's tricky.
January 31st feels like it's approaching with the weight of settling major debates, or at minimum pushing one fighter significantly closer to the sport's peak. Opinions continue splitting down the middle, but the stakes keep climbing with every new analysis, and both men find themselves under increasingly intense scrutiny.
Great matchup, tough fight. I want to see what Teofimo shows up, because sometimes it's Teofimo, sometimes it's Teofimo, the great fighter who beat Lomachenko, who beat Taylor. That's a tough Teofimo. But then we've also seen him, you know, in off nights.
Right.
And so that's kind of the only doubt, the only question that I have. You know, which Teofimo's going to show up.
Oscar De La Hoya enters this conversation with deep respect for both competitors. He openly acknowledges Lopez's explosive power and incredible athleticism, while recognizing just how challenging Stevenson has proven to crack throughout his career. De La Hoya's view emphasizes how few fighters have even come close to figuring out the Shakur puzzle during his professional run.
Think about Shakur and Teo. What kind of fighter we have?
It's gonna be a great fight.
What's the most compelling part of the matchup for those two guys?
That's gonna be a great. You know what? Teo's a hell of a fighter. I love Teo. But I love Shakur. His style is almost impossible to break. But if there's a fighter who can break it, it's Teo. But it's going to be a hell of a fight, because I love Shakur because he doesn't run. He's right there in front of you. So it's up to Teo to do something, but I think it's going to be a great fight.
De La Hoya identifies Stevenson's world-class jab and masterful distance management as the core of his dominance. These fundamental tools have enabled him to control elite opposition while taking minimal damage in return. Despite that praise for Stevenson, De La Hoya refuses to write off Lopez completely. He suggests that if anyone possesses the raw talent and aggressive mindset to disrupt Stevenson's game, Teofimo would be that fighter.
What do you think he has to do to kind of deal with a guy like Shakur Stevenson? How would you approach a fighter like Shakur Stevenson if you were Teofimo Lopez with the attributes that he has?
I would think Teofimo, being that technically he's a bigger fighter, bigger size, he's been at the weight class a little more, and then just maybe built into it more. I would think he would have to use that, you know, size as an advantage. But it's hard to say, because I mean, Shakur Stevenson fucking good at what he does.
Richardson Hitchens, the current IBF super lightweight champion, delivers perhaps the most definitive prediction yet. He sees only one possible result in this matchup and believes Stevenson operates in a completely different stratosphere. Hitchens argues that Shakur brings a skill set Lopez has never encountered before. While acknowledging Lopez's natural gifts and athleticism, Hitchens believes Stevenson's defensive brilliance and superior ring intelligence create virtually unsolvable problems.
Man, Shakur finna fuck Teo up. I don't know. I'm telling you, Teo better wake the fuck up. I mean, at the end of the day,
You think it's competitive though? It's close.
Yeah, I think it can be competitive.
Yeah.
You know, Teo's real gifted. Shakur's real defensive, and you know, I feel like when a fighter is super defensive, it can play against you also, you know, because if you go in there trying to be really defensive, it can play against you. But Shakur's a high-level boxer, and Teo ain't on Shakur level. Teo know that, and like I told Teo when I see him, I said it's different. He told me that me and Shakur is used to each other. That's why I feel like it's different. He said Shakur not used to him. So in 2 weeks, we'll see.
All these expert opinions create a fascinating contrast in styles and personalities. Lopez emerges as the dangerous wild card, explosive and completely unpredictable, capable of changing everything in one explosive moment. Stevenson gets painted as the calculated tactician, disciplined and constantly evolving, with a style designed to frustrate opponents into critical errors.
Teofimo, Shakur, I think Shakur. I like Shakur stylistically, you know. Teofimo is a tough fighter as well, but it's gonna be a boring fight, honestly. It's gonna be a chess game because they're both smart fighters. They're very technical, and they're gonna be very defensive for the whole fight, you know.
What makes this clash so magnetic is the fundamental difference in fighting philosophy. One fighter feeds off chaos and calculated risks, while the other thrives on surgical precision and tactical control. Every expert agrees on the essential point. Both men belong in pound-for-pound discussions, and whoever wins on January 31st walks away with much more than just another victory.
I got Shakur. I think it's gonna go all 12 rounds. Shakur is gonna outbox him, I feel like. But I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, if it was to end earlier, you know. But like I said, I'm not taking none away from Teofimo. He's a great fighter. He's where he's at now for a reason. But I'm definitely have to go with Shakur on this one. I think he's just on another level.
How does he get the job done? Does he decision?
I think like I said, I'm leaning towards decision.
Yeah.
I think he's going to outbox him beautifully. So that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with a decision.
Do you think it'll be competitive? You know, Teo had that athletic.
For sure.
Have more power, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe even more speed.
Nah, for sure. It ain't gonna be a walk in the park.
Yeah,
you know, like I said, two great talented fighters. They both where they at for a reason. It's not gonna be a walk in the park, but I think when it's all said and done, Shakur will be the one with his hands raised.
Momentum seems to be building behind Stevenson's mental approach as fight night draws closer. He treats this as validation for years of dedicated preparation and systematic improvement, while Lopez sees it as another chance to prove everyone wrong when they count him out. That collision between different sources of motivation makes the final result absolutely unmissable.
Trigger Ray winner type of deal. Like, that's how I look at life. Yeah, both athletic, both sharp, both really good on their defense, both just very explosive. Like, it's one of them fights. Like, you talking about Marvin Hagler, he used to come and get you. Like, Shakur can do that. Now, you don't know what he's gonna do for this fight. You don't know, but I know he's gonna do whatever he gotta do to win. So.
Who's the elite fighter out of all of them? Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson. Obviously, you pick Shakur for Teo, but who's the best of the best? Tank. Who do you feel is the king, the emperor of all the kings?
Shakur.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm being honest with you. Like, I've been knowing Shakur since he was like 15. We went to the Olympics together, and just to see how he. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you see the difference.
He has gotten so.
Fight night is almost here, and Shakur Stevenson's focus remains laser sharp. He's completely locked in, supremely confident, and totally committed to exposing every weakness he's discovered in Teofimo Lopez's approach. January 31st isn't just about collecting another win. This is about establishing complete superiority. Keep watching, share your predictions, and stay connected for continuous fight night analysis and breaking news updates.